If you've ever wanted to know more about our Sage Oak High School program, you are going to love this conversation with Traci King, Sage Oak High School principal. In this conversation, she is breaking down all the different ways that students can take their courses in order to meet graduation requirements and be prepared for careers and college and life outside of Sage Oak. She also dives into the plethora of ways that students can personalize their learning path and truly follow a unique plan that is built just for them. It's a great conversation, and I can't wait for you to hear it. Let's dive in. Welcome to another episode of the Sage Studio, and I am so excited about our guest today. Today, we are talking with the Traci King, who is the Sage Oak Charter School High School principal. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Fun to be here.
We are so excited to talk about this program. This program is growing and growing, and you offer so many amazing things for students. I know that you were part of actually growing the program. So take us back a little bit to the beginning. Tell us about how you started with Sage Oak and how you evolved the high school program to what it is today.
Oh, I would love to. Oh my goodness, Tiffany, this has been such a journey. It's been the most exciting thing that I've ever done in all of my years of education. And I'm 1,000 years old, so I've been in education forever. I started with Sage Oak from the day that it opened, and I came on as the HQT for all of the subjects. And then after being just with so many high school students the first year, then we thought to really serve our students in high school, their needs are so different and specialized that we should probably separate them from K-8. So the second year I was a coordinator, and by that spring, we started to put the plan into effect. This is how it would look. And all of the hiring that we did, we started to hire single subject teachers so they can serve as the EAs. And the year after that, I think I was lead coordinator for 2 years, and we ran the program like that. And then I was assistant director. And I think that's when you came aboard.
It is. Yes. That's when I joined the high school department. Yes.
Yes. And then a year after that, high school principal.
Love it.
It's been very rewarding to see the program just start from how can we best serve our students? And it was basically the students who lead the way on all of our decision making.
I love that about you. And that's one of the things that I definitely learned from working with you is that you love to say yes. You love to figure out ways to personalize things for students, to make things happen for them, and to really work with one student at a time. You truly do that. So tell me a little bit about how you do that. How can you run a high school and also serve students one at a time? How does that work?
Oh, I think that it's actually a lot easier than what it sounds like, right? So you have so many students, and how do you serve each one? So we have our different pathways, and it's the student who is leading it. We have all of our courses and everything set up. So no matter what path they choose, we can serve them. So it is definitely one student at a time, and each student has a different path than another student. So if a student says, I'm in club hockey right now, and I'm looking to be an NCAA student, or I play tennis, I swim, I dive, I'm in club soccer, whatever the sport may be, and they're looking at Division I colleges, and so we need to keep that student an NCAA student, we have a path. We've already have everything all approved on our NCAA list. If a student has their eyes on a particular college, we're like, okay, we got you. We know the requirements to get into that college. If a student's like, I want to go straight into the workforce, what can I do to start working in a manufacturing plant? Like, I want to run the equipment. We can say, this is what you need to do for that. And so we have partnered with the community and businesses and a lot of community college, because each community college has their different CTE pathways. So it's easy for us now to have the students and say, just tell us your passion, tell us what you want. We got you.
I love that. It's so great because it speaks to the personalization that is such a core value of Sage Oak, and you're able to deliver that. And you're able to deliver it in a way to high school students that makes their high school experience so unique. And at the same time, you are talking about core curriculum and classes that are something that are foundational to any high school program. So tell me a little bit about how do you balance these are the things that make us like other high schools, and then these are the things that make Sage Oak unique in our high school program?
Oh, for sure. So we're the same as other high schools. They have the same high standards and same quality, all of that. We're the same. We take our WASC accreditation quite seriously. I've been a part of WASC for many years. I'm actually chairing two WASC visits this year to other high schools. And I love seeing what other high schools are doing, as well as sharing what we're doing at Sage Oak with these other high schools. We keep our A to G list. So for entry level into the UCSUs, we keep it very current. For example, right now we're writing a syllabus to get an AI class approved because AI is out there and it's up and coming and everybody is really interested in AI. So we're going to say, okay, so this is our AI curriculum. You want to take this course? We can get this approved for you and have it be a part of your core curriculum. And just like I mentioned on the NCAA, we keep those classes very current. So I think in that way, we're the same when it comes to like our standards and keeping high standards. When it comes to students choosing their schedule, you have a lot of choices that students can make. And I think that we have 65 elective credits that a student needs to earn. That's a lot of exploration that a student can take with those classes. So it is developing it around the student and how they want to take the class. You want to take 15 science classes? You are more than welcome to. We can make all kinds of recommendations for that. It's what the student's passion is. We have, of course, our graduation requirements, but there is so much leeway on how to take those classes and when they can take those classes. And sometimes I look at the students and I get jealous. I'm like, oh my God, I wish I had this when I was in high school. I
Right.
was a little slighted. I was just like,
Yes.
these are your 5 classes. You have to take these, and there's no room for anything else. So,
I have to say, I felt that same way too when I was working with high school students. I'm like, I want to take that cooking class or I want to take that music class. That looks incredible.
yeah.
Okay, so we have our set of that we follow as far as meeting requirements. So we are an accredited school. We are choosing courses that are A to G compliant so that students who are taking this course will be on a pathway to enter into a CSU or UC or other school after high school. There is also graduation requirements that's ensuring that students aren't just taking whatever they feel like, but they're actually taking courses that will meet graduation requirements and also giving them a range within that schedule to explore some things that they might be interested in areas like electives where there's so much choice. So, what a great balance. I love that. And I love the way that that really allows us to do both, to be in compliance and meet the same standards that other high schools are, yet at the same time, stay true to who we are as Sage Oak by personalizing and serving our students where their academic interests and their skill levels lie. So great. So, now how does that look for a parent or for a student? What does a day in the life of a high school student look like?
Okay, we'll just take any student. We could take actually a couple different students and look at their schedule. So let's just take a student, a typical student, maybe they're interested in arts. We have a CTE Arts Academy. And so when we're looking at their schedule, they're very art focused student. Maybe instead of just a regular world history class, they're taking world history through film. They love that art aspect of bringing core curriculum into them. They're taking a fashion and design class, perhaps. They're taking that at the community college. Out in the community, maybe they're taking a pottery class as an elective, or they're taking for their PE class, they're taking aerial arts. We had a student doing, I'm just going to call it circus arts. There's a specific name for it, but they were doing.
It's pretty cool, is what it is. I love it.
Sure is. It's like, what? This is for PE? This
Yeah.
is
You can
incredible. Are you can do all of this aerial stuff? So we have students doing that and then mixed with their regular core classes. So they could take classes outside, even though we're non-classroom based, they can take classes out in the community. They can take classes where you would need a pottery studio. We have these with our community providers, and students are able to utilize their instructional funds and take some of these amazing classes. We have a student, we have two, one who's really into tennis and one who's really into swimming. And most of their training actually happens during typical school hours. They're spending all day training. I talk about PE minutes, right? One day during that, what a typical student would have in a week. So they're spending all of their time during that training, but they can go back to their classes on the days that they're not training or in the late afternoon, and they could watch the pre-recorded lessons that the teachers provided. So the flexibility in the schedule is, I think, is what's key to the personalization.
I love that you really mentioned that and the balance of both. Students are in this program. They're not totally stuck to a one size fits all type of program. They don't have to take all of their classes online if they don't want to. They don't have to be live on screen every day at a certain time if that doesn't work for them. They can take a combination, it sounds like, of classes that are online and also with community providers. It sounds like there's a lot of opportunity for in-person learning if that's what they.
Yes, there is. Yep.
That's great. That I'm sure that type of choice really helps again to build in those personalized pathways for students so that again you're able to really serve each student where they are. You mentioned a little bit about our college and career opportunities for students and some of the community colleges that they can plug into. Talk to us a little bit more about that. How do students get the opportunity to work with community colleges? And then how do they, beyond that, also prepare for the next chapter of life after high school?
And it's that next chapter of life that drives everything from the beginning. So when we work with each student, we say, okay, so how are you going to be prepared for life after high school? And as I mentioned, they can choose their own path. So we start with our freshmen, and we have freshman orientation that is mixed with like our AVID class and our AVID strategies. In 10th grade, they have a college and career exploration because sometimes when you're looking at, oh, I've always wanted to be a vet. Okay, let's explore that. Let's go and talk to a vet. We have a webinar coming up talking with the vet. And then you're looking at it and you're like, okay, that's gross. I don't want to be a vet.
Sometimes get to find out what you don't want to do, right?
Yes. And that is absolutely key. Let's find out. And a lot of it is with the students finding out they don't know what they want to do, but they can go through the list and know what they don't want to do. That is a really healthy way to approach it. You don't have to know exactly what you want to do, but let's get those classes out that you don't want to do. And so we do that in the 10th grade and we narrow it down. And in the 11th grade, we have a junior seminar, and that's where they're planning out their senior year. This is what I'm going to be doing in my senior year. And then in the senior seminar, it's all about what are you doing after high school? This is your planning. You're taking this entire semester. You are planning for your life after high school. What does that look like? Even if it's a gap year, we're planning that gap year. And what are you doing when you're coming back from that gap year? So it's not even really just a 4-year plan. When you're with Sage Oak, it's a 5-year because it's your 4 years in high school plus one. We have to have the plus one and get you prepared for life after high school. So we do a lot of things with the colleges on about 6 college tours a year to the UC, CSUs, private college, specialty colleges like our art college, Cal Arts, Long Beach Art and Design. I'm sorry, not Long Beach, Laguna Beach, and trade schools. And trade schools are really cool, such as when you're looking at, oh my gosh, there's a trade school for set design, costume design, movie makeup. They have them. And trade schools, we don't even really hear that a lot, but there are those that are still out there. And a lot of them are now housed inside a community college.
That's
So we
interesting.
have these CTE pathways, and each community college kind of specializes in one CTE pathway. So we have our partnerships with multiple community colleges. Over 50% of our students are actually enrolled in a community college. I think we have 75% who's filled out the form, and we have them fill out the form. If the class isn't available, fine, try next semester, or just to get them used to the process of it. But we have actually over 50% actually taking a class right now, and apprenticeships. So we're really starting with our apprenticeships as well. So our apprenticeships, we have our first one doing auto mechanics this year. And we also have a computer science one, a child development, graphic arts, animation, design, and we're hoping to get welding
So
next year.
exciting. I love it.
Yeah.
So, with all of these pathways, so students have so many different pathways that they can follow. They have so many different options with community providers. They have so many options with how they want to structure their schedule. How do they even get started? What does that process look like for students? How do they choose?
They have a lot of conversations with their education advisor. So they'll have a lot of teachers in high school. So you'll have a teacher for all of your single subjects, right? You have your math teacher, English teacher, all of that. But your Your teacher who is guiding you and advising you is your education advisor. And the education advisor has 20 students. And this is where they're focusing on you and they're asking all of these questions and getting you started in these different programs. Is telling you that, okay, this is what we have available. Are you interested in this? Yes, no. And so it starts from a list and we're just checking them off. Okay, this works, this doesn't. What do you think about this? How would you like to take this math class? So you have to take algebra 1. How do you want to take algebra 1? Do you want to do it with a textbook? Do you want to do it online? Do you want to do it, and even if you're doing it online, do you want to do it like this straight approach? Do you want to do a mastery based approach? So each one of the subjects, there's multiple ways to take it. Just like I mentioned, world history. Why not world history through film or regular history or textbook world history? So they have the conversations with their education advisor because there is a lot. And so we usually go subject by subject. So when we get all the core subjects figured out, okay, so now let's talk about your plans after high school and what interests you. And then we go into our electives and our CTE and college classes.
That's so great because it takes the overwhelm out of it, right? It gives parents and students a little relief of, hey, yes, we may have a lot for you to choose from, but you're not on your own. We're going to pair you with a certificated teacher who's an expert in the area. They're going to walk you through all of the different core curriculum that you need to have, the different options that you can choose from in order to meet that requirement in English, in math, in science, like you were saying, as well as lead you down a more personalized pathway for some of the more interest-based classes, whether that be art or mechanics or things like that can be integrated into some of those core curriculum, which is so cool, in addition to being elective classes. So that's awesome. I love that. And I think that really is exciting. It's exciting for students. I think it's highly engaging, highly motivating when they have so much say in what it is that they're learning and they can incorporate their passion into what it is they're learning. What about beyond their regular classes? For students that want to get involved, do we offer like clubs or other unique experiences outside the core curriculum for them to get involved?
Oh my gosh, yes. So we have our Spanish club, an ASL conversational cafe. We have a debate club, music club, film club, environmental club. We have a lot of clubs and we don't decide on which clubs. It's the students. The students are saying, hey, can we have a club like this? So all of our clubs that have been formed have come from student interest. So it starts with the student and then we say, okay, yep, now we have other students involved. We have a teacher who's willing to be the advisor for this. So they're very student focused, student driven. The activities within those clubs come from the students. So they do a lot of the planning. We have our ASB, which is probably our largest, and our ASB is thriving. They plan all of the high school field trips, hangouts that we have. They do the prom, the theme for the prom, the decorations for the prom, and they really are great at promoting it and bringing all of the high school students together. I love our ASB students. They're just amazing.
That's so great. The few that I've had a chance to interact with too, they're just amazing students, passionate students, driven students. They just love Sage Oak. And I think that comes from the fact that they are being trusted to do so much of the leading of their clubs and of their vision. I can really see that it is clubs that do belong to the students and that's so meaningful to them. Okay. And then, of course, we have graduation, right? Talk to us about graduation. When is graduation? What can students expect?
Graduation is the highlight. Just, oh my goodness. So you've done this amazing journey, and now we get to do an in-person graduation. So our graduation this year is June 6th. It's in person. It's incredible. We have so much fun at graduation, giving away all the awards and highlighting our students and our student speaker. It is really a fun time for our graduates, just our seniors in general. So we'll have our senior sunrise, our senior sunset, grad night at Disneyland, even our prom. So we open up prom to all ninth through 12th graders. And it's really nice for the students to see each other. Maybe they just saw each other at our PE events. We have in-person PE events, which I'm going to go to the next one. I'm going to go to them. But they're going to the batting cages and they're doing
Cool.
surfing lessons and going on hikes. And it's really fun that this was brand new this year are in-person PE events, and our students are loving them. Other than that, like we talked about, our ASB, they plan hangouts too, which aren't anything except for high school students coming together. Let's come together and do something. Let's play laser tag. Let's go bowling. They did holiday shopping and ice skating at Irvine Spectrum, which was pretty cool.
So fun.
They planned a back to school bonfire. And then we have just our amazing EAs who are planning the career field trips. So they know what their students are looking for. So are they looking for the career in forensics? We could go and explore that. We can go to like our engineering ones. We go to some factories and they can see all of the engineering that goes on in like a food manufacturer, which is really cool. We have some legal career focused field trips that we do, as well as public service with the PD, the sheriff department. So the career focused field trips are unique to Sage Oak High School. Now, of course, our fabulous field trips that are open to K-12, those are amazing as well. But it's interesting that we have just this kind of separate section that's like career focused. Let's go out there and talk to those in the industry. Let's see what they're doing.
I love that. It sounds like there's so many opportunities for the students to come together in person, whether that be for academic purposes, career purposes, or just socializing and hanging around with other teenagers. So I love that there is that sense of community within this program while students are also working independently and working on their own personalized learning paths. Truly incredible. Traci, thank you so much for taking the time to just talk to us a little bit about the high school program and all the incredible things that you are offering. I know so many students personally in the program who are absolutely thriving, parents who love it, and that really says a lot about you and the high school staff. So thank you so much for all you and your team do. It's truly incredible.
Absolutely. And I am more than happy to come back and we can dive into each one of these areas just a little bit further. So yeah, you just let me know.
Let's do that for sure.
I'm sure.
We'll do it for sure. All right. Thanks, Traci. We appreciate talking with you today. Have a good one.
All right. You too, Tiffany. Bye-bye.